Nooneys Bedtime Stories, Volume 1. The name of the story this evening is going to be called That Good, Sweet 1410. Are you ready? Let's go. The phone rings. Hi, Miss Jennifer. You have a guest downstairs. Yes, his name is Daryl. Okay, I'll send him right up. Excuse me, sir. The elevator's around the corner. 2 lefts and a right. Daryl pressed the button for the elevator, then hopped on. When he got off on the 10th floor, he walked down that hall, knocked on 1014. Jennifer opened the door. All type of delicious smells was coming out of her place. I walked in, gave her a hug. I heard her say, someone smells good. Why, thank you. And she closed the door. I said, that smells amazing. What do we have in seafood? I hope you're not allergic. Not at all. I handed her the bottle. Thank you very much. What would you like to drink? I have beer, ginger ale, bourbon, Knob Creek. Bourbon with a splash of ginger ale on the rocks. A minute later, Jennifer had the table set. I washed my hands. We sat. We even prayed. The food looked great, and it was baked salmon, wild rice, and broccoli spears. She had extra pieces if I was hungry. We ate, talked, asked questions, answered. Some we laughed. Finally, it was time to put the food away. So, naturally, I helped. She laughed and said no dishes to wash. She loaded them in a washer, cleared the table. We still had our drinks. She went to the couch. The front window gave her a nice view of downtown Atlanta. I stood there for a minute, then joined her on the sofa. We talked some more and didn't realize how much time had passed. While eating dinner, Jennifer had 2 glasses of wine. I'm on my 2nd glass of bourbon. She sat down, and for a second she looked like she was thinking about something. I seen her glass was almost done, so I went to refill it. She looked at her glass, then she looked at me, then smiled, and she held her glass up. I went to open a new one. Poured it slow, then topped off my glass, then excused myself. When I came back in the living room, I went right back to where we were. In the background, you could see the city. Looked nice at that time of the evening. I had to ask, where was I? And she gave me a rundown of that part of Atlanta. When I first walked in the house, I didn't realize that her hair was up. She had on a long shirt that covered her ass. She had on leggings. Jennifer's frame was nice. She stood about 5'6", 130, 140. The shirt hit the booty well. You could see some, but not enough to make an accurate assessment. the spandex was gone. The hair was down. I would have never guessed how much hair she had. Wow, beautiful woman. Chocolate, had almost slanted brown eyes. When she laughed, that look made her look like she had Asian in her family. I went with a long dress wasn't long enough anymore to cover her shapely legs. She tucked one foot under her as she sat back down on the couch. She said, "Daryl, are you comfortable?" "Yes, I am." I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know if that meant for me to get ready to leave or get ready to stay. She laughed when she looked at my face. She said, "Are you okay?" "I'm okay." In the back of my mind, I was playing this silly game called Should I Stay? Should I go? Should I leave while I still can? Or should I prepare for evening? Then she asked me, "You have any plans for the rest of the evening?" "No, can't say that I do. I wouldn't mind being here with you." Then I noticed she got up, she turned off the light in the kitchen. Then she turned off the light that was over the table. So at that point, I just said, "You know what? I'm going to let the evening take its own course." She got up. She grabbed her glass and started walking towards her bedroom. So rightfully so, I got up. I grabbed my glass and the bottle and followed her. When I went in the bedroom with her, she sat in the middle of the bed. I looked for somewhere to put my glass in the bottle, and then I sat down on the edge of the bed. My mother always told me, "Don't ever sit on the bed with the clothes you had on outside." So, and just as I was about to get comfortable, she stood up in the bed and said, "You're not laying in my bed with your clothes on." I thought exactly. So I got out of those jeans as quick as I can. When she sat back down and I was in my boxes, she could tell that I was a little excited. So she had no problems coming over closer to me. She took a long sip from her drink, and then she straddled me. So she looked me in my face, and it looked like she was thinking of something, but I sat there and I waited. And then she whispered, "Whatever you do, don't hurt me." I laughed to myself. I was thinking the same thing. This beautiful, sexy woman with this frame that was just well hidden. She had curves, man. Her ass was Georgia Beach standard. It was nice and round, but it was firm. You could see chocolate as far as the eye can see. She smelled sweet. I didn't know how old she was, but her breast made her look like she was 25. Her skin was smooth to the touch. When we kissed, her soft lips, she had an expert tongue. It didn't take long for my tongue to get in line. She knew what she wanted. She had mentioned earlier in the day that she hasn't been with a man in a long time. Most of the time when women say that, I never take them serious, but this time I think I better. I couldn't help it. I had to put my hands on her waist. And then I let my hands travel down to her hips and her thighs. Shit, I even touched her kneecaps. Rubbed her ankles. Slid back some, rubbed her feet. Fucking, I put her toe in my mouth. Don't judge me. You would've too. She laid back on the bed and she told me how ticklish she can be. Didn't matter. She was gonna get a tongue assault. It didn't take long for me to realize the parts of her body that was the ticklish parts and which parts of her body was sensitive to the tongue. This woman squirmed on the bed. I licked some. I bit on her a little bit. I even bit the back of her ankles. I wanted to let her know that I wasn't there for no fast ride. I was parking this night. I went up her thighs, past the honey hole. I kissed her on her stomach. Yeah, I went in reverse. Don't judge me. Got to her breasts. I took one and I just played with it. I let my tongue trace around it. I licked the nipples. Oh, so that's what you like. Okay. So I grabbed that one and I went over and I played with the other one because, you don't want to leave the twins out. And then I bit right on the nipple. Then I kissed some more. I went up to her neck. I found that spot right under the ear. And I started kissing her. And I could tell she haven't been kissed in a while because it woke something up in her. She started being an octopus, but I had to keep that in control. I went up, I got to that ear, and I heard her say, I hope he doesn't kiss my ear, I hope he doesn't kiss my ear. Hey, I got to it, and I sucked on that ear. I bit a little bit. Then I found a way to kiss on the side of the neck. And then I helped her flip her ass over. And I bit her on the neck one more time. And I was sucking on the shoulders. And then I went down her back. I went down her back so slow. everywhere she had skin, it was everywhere it was saliva. When I got to her ass, oh man, I licked and licked and licked. And just when I was at the asshole, I said, I'll be right back for you. I went over and grabbed that bottle of wine. I went to her ear real low and I said, I apologize for wetting your sheets. She said, what? I said, I apologize for what I am about to do. And she said, what? I said, shh. You're gonna have to go with this one. And I took some wine, put it in my mouth, and I let it drip on that round ass of hers till it disappeared. Now my job is to catch the drip. So I went and I spread the ass cheeks apart. And I licked. And I sucked. And when she raised her ass up to receive my tongue, she said, oh. Oh wait, I wasn't ready for that. I thought to myself, I'm in the right place. So I took a little bit more wine and poured it. This time, my mouth was there to catch most of it. But not before the wine circled her asshole and dripped on her pussy. So, since I didn't have a towel, I had to use the next best thing. You know what it is. Next thing you know, that's why my lips is a little wet. Because I made sure I got all of that juice that was coming off of her. By the time I flipped her ass back over, her clit looked like it needed a little, getting to know. So I concentrated on that clit. I woke that fucker up. I wanted her to stand up. I sucked on that clit. I licked on it. I played with it. She was trying to get off the bed. No. You should have thought about that before you called me in this fucking room. So I had her locked in a corner. I had my arms around her legs so she couldn't move. She had to deal with the tongue assault. I pushed that tongue up in her, and then I pulled it out slow. I got to the head of the click and I licked that thing real fast. I licked it until she couldn't take it anymore. She arched her ass up off the bed. And then I felt her starting to shake. When she shook, that only made it better for me. So what do? I suck and suck until she started to give me back some of that liquid. And it came out. And she froze while I sucked away, and she could hear the sucking noises. Damn. Well, now it's time. I pulled her closer to me. Man, her clit looked like it was frozen. I licked and licked and licked. And then I got up real slow. Did harder than Chinese arithmetic. I slid that condom on with one hand. And by the time She wanted to adjust herself for what? This is yours right now. Take it. And I put 257 pounds of me inside of her. And I went in slow. Then I pulled out slow. I went in slow. Pulled out slow. By the fifth or sixth time, I went halfway in her and I just held it there. I put a little pressure, but I just held it right in that spot. And just when I could feel them juices flowing around my dick, I went all the way as far as I can. And then I started riding and riding. I tell you, I'm a lazy fucker. You ain't gonna get no speed sex out of me. I'ma make sure my hips is locked and loaded, cause it's gonna be a heavy train ride. Slow and steady. And I kept pumping and pumping and pumping. And just when she adjusts, I adjust. And then you go back in again. This time I'm pumping, but I'm sucking on her breasts, squeezing on the other one. Or at some point you'll catch me grabbing her ass, digging in. I could hear her begging to stop. I'm like, are you okay? Is this hurting? And I don't know if she was talking English or whatever. It didn't matter at that moment. All I know is I was just biding time. I was ready. I was ready. So now I found the new rhythm. The music that was playing in the background. I tried to keep up with that beat. Then I realized, go back to the freight train. And I'm pumping. And I'm pumping. And then she started shaking again. And her pussy got so wet. And those deep strokes. Oh man, I couldn't help it. I turned her ass around in doggy style position. So now she's grabbing the sheets. She's grabbing them sheets. I balanced myself, looking at that heart that was in front of me, that chocolate heart. So I just stuck my finger right in her ass. Whoa! Oh shit, she said. Damn. Wait. Wait, shit. This ain't no wait. She said, I like that. And she started bucking. So I had to put the finger and I started letting it go, twirl around in her a little bit. But now, my brain told my dick, brother, you got 5 more pumps. So I had to reposition myself, because as horny as I was not about to just give her 5 more pumps. I'm hard-headed. I gotta cheat if I have to. So I spun her ass on her back, repositioned myself, pulled my dick almost all the way out of her. Almost to it was just the head. And while I was at the head, I just left it right there. Right there. And all I could hear was her saying, yes, 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 yes. And then she said, oh shit, oh shit. And she just started convulsing and scratching. So I had to hold her hands. And that pussy moved. It almost went like she was losing it, but in a good way. She had this wild look in her eyes, Like, where the fuck did you get all that from? I smiled, but in my mind, I was tired as shit. I drank so much wine. Then I just fell to the side. She laid there for a second, and then she got down on the bed, and she put me in her mouth, and it felt like magic. She licked. First, she licked all the places that had remnants of her, and then I could hear her go, and then she started making those slurping noises. And then she made some noise that sounded like she was popping in her mouth. I didn't know what to do with myself. I'm holding on to shit that wasn't even there. Finally, I got a hold of the pillow and I put it over my face. And she said, "Nigga, this ain't no time to hide. You did all that shit to me. You gonna see what the fuck I'm gonna do to you." I had to laugh at it because she was cocky, real cocky. And she then got on top and she rolled me. I mean, she put her pussy in automatic and she dug in. And I had to hold her hips because I couldn't hold her. Oh my God, I was going, and I started to tell her, I said, wait, I don't know what wait. I started sounding like a bitch. Me? No. Nigga, buck up. And she got in there, and she was, oh my God, she was riding. I don't know how I caught that second wind, but my fucking dick turned into petrified wood. And when she said, ooh, I knew at that moment, oh, it was time. I put my hand on her shoulders and I pulled her down while I pushed up. I wanted to park my dick in her stomach. And we did that for a while. And then finally we both passed the fuck out. And we laughed and we played a little bit. Then she said, "Need another drink?" Yeah. She got up off the bed. That ass was firm, but it gave a little shimmy. She went and got a whole new bottle. I don't know what the hell was wrong with me. I grabbed that bottle and I snatched that cork off of it. And I put that shit to my lips. Then she did it. Oh, we was having fun. It was carnal. When we finally were done with round 2, 3, who gives a fuck? I looked at her, she looked at me, and I said, "I'm hungry." "You too?" "Yeah." So we got up, took our naked asses in the living room. She went in the kitchen, heated up some fish. And 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, we sitting there eating fish, laughing with a bottle of wine. Fuck the glasses, we just passing the bottle back and forth. And when it was finally done, she said, "I gotta get some rest." I said, "You right." So we got in the bed. And she positioned herself to where I was able to just park my dick right between her legs. And we fell asleep. Just like that. The next morning, when I woke up, she wasn't in the bed with me. So I'm looking around. And when I finally got up, I went to the bathroom. And there she was, putting on makeup. She was fully dressed. And I'm saying to myself, did I miss something? And she said, I gotta go to work. And I was like, okay. So I said, I gotta use the bathroom. She became a different person. But she let me use the bathroom. But then she went back to doing what she was doing, and it seemed like everything she was rushing me. So I got dressed, grabbed all my stuff, made sure I didn't leave anything. And just as I got to the door with her, she was locking the door. I'm standing there. I guess I was looking in my bag. She's already at the elevator. So she gets on the elevator, and there's a couple on the elevator, and everyone says good morning in unison. She didn't speak. She never even put her head up. So I kind of nudged her to say, hey, they spoke to you. She moved away from me. I thought that odd, but I let it go. We rode the elevator down to the first floor lobby, walked off. The couple got off, and she kind of jetted out the building, not saying another word to me. So I said, either she didn't want the couple to know we were together, or maybe she's truly in a rush. But she should have woke me up. I would have left a long time ago. Long story short, I walked to my car, and my car is literally 2 cars down from her car. So as I'm walking towards her car, she puts her head down like she's looking for something in her glove box. So I tap her glass to say bye, get in my car, pull out the parking lot, and she's already at the entrance. And I said, okay, I must have misread this one. She pulled off, I pulled off. 2 lights later, she looked over at me and honked the horn. I looked in her direction, and when the light turned green, I stepped on the gas. I'm in this story like this. Ladies, if you had a good time with a guy, and you have to be somewhere in the morning, it doesn't hurt for you to say, listen, I had a great time. Would you mind? And whatever it is, leave, or I gotta be up and out in the morning. Alright? Have a good night. And I hope this story helps you. I might have plenty more. Nooneys, signing